We're back as we continue our 1 hour Car of the Year special. Here's Graham with our next category.
This year we've done something a little different because there were so many new family sedans. We split them up into 3 categories, 2 domestic and 1 import. So let's take a look at the nominees for the subcompact domestic family sedan. The contenders for compact domestic family car are the Chevrolet Cruze, Dodge Dart and Ford Focus. Since its introduction, the Cruze has single-handedly put Chevrolet back on many shopping lists, and simply because there's a lot to like. The 1.4-litre turbocharged 4 is a terrific little engine that delivers both power and economy. The handling, well, it's decidedly European, and the cabin is as well finished and conceived as anything in the segment. How times have changed. None of this was true of the Chevy Cavalier. Having toiled in the compact category with the dismal Dodge Caliber, the Dart is in contrast a sharp looker that arrives with some very pleasant surprises. For example, Uconnect is, without question, the simplest multimedia system I have ever used. Likewise, the European nature of its drive is refreshingly different from the Dodges of old. It is a very strong contender that is more than a match for its peers. In spite of its recalls, the Ford Focus remains one of the strongest contenders in the compact family car market. Exterior style aside, one thing that really does define the Focus is its interior design and execution. It is clean and concise in its layout and is offered with a raft of technologies normally expected of a car further up the price ladder. It will even park itself curbside if that's what the driver wants.
And the winner is Mr. Fletcher.
The winner would be the Dodge Dart. I love the 1.4-litre turbocharged engine, and it's a good-looking car. Now, you'll notice the Cruze and Focus are not new, but they are very important cars in that segment.
The only thing that disappointed me about the Dart was after the Charger and the Challenger, and with the name, I thought it might have more of a retro look to it.
Well, if you like slant 6 engines and watching it rust in the driveway, then retro's where it's at.
Good point. Our next category?
Family cars, this time they're mid-size and from the big 3. The nominees for the mid-size domestic car are the Chevrolet Malibu, Chrysler 200 and Ford Fusion. In the past, the Malibu has been a rather ho-hum sort of car. It did most things fairly well, but never did quite enough to make it a must-have drive. The latest version addresses that drawback. It is sharper looking, it has a comfortably roomy cabin, and it boasts one of the quietest rides in the segment. My suggestion is to opt for either the 2.5-litre 4-cylinder engine or the 2-litre turbocharged 4. These engines bring the driving experience the rest of the Malibu promises. In transforming the lackluster Sebring into the 200, Chrysler stiffened the body, massaged the suspension and upgraded the interior. Yes, it's beginning to show its age, but the 200 still has a lot going for it. More than anything, it's the 200's ability to accommodate a taller driver better than just about any of its competition that serves to set it apart. Throw in a strong V6 engine and you have a competent car that continues to win buyers over. In a segment full of rather dull cars, the latest Ford Fusion arrives with an unexpected but much appreciated wow factor. It has the looks and real substance, and it can be ordered in many different flavours. As with the Malibu, the smart shopper will opt for either one of the Fusion's EcoBoost engines. As well as adding some needed spice to the drive, they promise better fuel economy. Talk about having your cake and eating it too.
Graham, I'm thinking Malibu or Fusion?
Well, you'd be on the right page. I like the Malibu, but I'd pick the Ford Fusion. Great powertrain combinations, very nice style, and I like the hybrid. We also had the Chrysler 200 in there. Now, it is about to be redone, but it's still an important player in that mid-size segment.
I like the Fusion, but I do prefer the styling of the Malibu with those Camaro highlights. Okay, Tara and Karina are standing by to unveil our overall best in class for 2013. That and much more as we continue with our Car of the Year 1 hour special.
Now, some people are suggesting that Ford and General Motors give up on Europe altogether. The industry is down, sales are down, they're closing factories, everybody's in trouble. But the fact is, if you want to be a global player, you got to play in every major market. And like it or not, Western Europe is still a major market. Yes, things are tough right now, but remember what it was like here 4 or 5 years ago during our economic recession. Sales were down, plants were closed, but now things are picking back up again. The car companies are building more cars in fewer plants, so it's more efficient. It's a terrible tragedy that some people lose their jobs, but the fact is, that's the way the business goes. The car industry has always been cyclical, and Europe is in a down cycle now. In a few years, it's going to come back. Besides, car makers can't give up on Europe because most of the best Fords and General Motors products are designed in Europe, so we got to keep that going. So I know it's a little bit hard to swallow, but a little bit of short-term pain will lead to long-term gain.
Well, at Toyota, they've taken a different direction. For instance, there used to be a power more here. Used to be a power more on top of the Camry, and they felt that it was really, the aerodynamics, it just wasn't there, and then